Three, two, one. Let's see what happens. Alrighty, well, welcome here on my Facebook group, Tools to Master Your Own Energy. And now I'm coming back to Zoom. I'm recording on my YouTube page so that we have this for future. And there we are. Okay, cool. Well, welcome everyone. And there, record and record here. There's just so many buttons. Okay, we are ready. We are ready to go. So you're getting me in a couple places. For those who are registered, thank you for doing that. I think we had 37 of you registered, and those who chose to register did get the workbook. I am streaming into my private Tools to Master Your Energy Consciousness with Lynnae. So if you are not part of that group, we would love to have you over there. I do lots of calls and free stuff over in that group. So yay, I am excited. I'm really excited to be here with you. Thank you for those who could show up today live. Many of you will be watching the recording. We have a new gal with us live right now. Spencer? Am I saying that right? Latoria? There we go. Okay, great. Glad to have you. The other gals that are on live with us are all clients and people that I have worked with for years. So they just keep on coming back. So we love that. Okay, so here we go. Here's housekeeping for today and things. Like I said, we're going to do chat, get it going, get it rolling. I will answer questions as I can from the chat. Diane's watching the Facebook group to answer anything over there. So how does it get any better than that? So my name is Lynnae Velasquez, for all of you who don't know me. I am an intuitive, transformational facilitator, coach, still trying to figure out all that I do to put into words. Like many of us, we are multi-passionate, and it is hard to completely put what we do into words, except for that we create, I create transformation and it's just super fun. So I'm not going to tell you a lot about me right now because we have 90 minutes here to go through one of my favorite classes. I have been teaching this class since I went into coaching full-time 5 years ago. I have been in, I'll do this little part about you, part me. I have been in transformational personal work for 33 years. I have been self-employed, 100% commission-based on all the careers that I've had. There's been like 4 basic ones. So 100% commissioned my entire life. Everything you can about being self-employed. And what I am today, which I've always been, but really bringing the energetics into our business, into our lives, the understanding of it. Energetics is everywhere. Everything is energy, but mastering your energy is kind of my jam. So today what we're going to do is go through this workbook that I have taught, like I said, a few times. And it doesn't matter if you've taken this class 1 time, 2 times, 5 times. When we're talking about consciousness and energy work, you are always different every time you show up for something. And of course, I have stuff in front of me, but I go with the energy of the group and the question. So every class or every session with me is always different because you are always different. But we are going to look at these 5 key words, which you may already know, but which is one of the words we want to eliminate. But they might sink in different today. And because I might go off on a tangent, like I do sometimes, looking at different energies of different things that come out of what we're saying. I was even reading this book today, and it's time to revamp it because it doesn't even match who I am anymore. Like some of the things that are in there when I first put it together, it's like, wow, that's just not even resonating with me anymore. So we're going to do 5 words that are blocking your ability to manifest with ease. Okay. And we'll refer to it. And then I'm going to be inviting you all to, if you don't, presently work with me, a clarity call Those are called discovery calls. I call them clarity calls because what I like to do in that 30 minutes that I have with you, if you choose to do that with me, is there's like four places that we literally like resist our success. And so in those, we'll get to know each other. But I really, because I read energy, can look at you that and help you kind of ping a little place where you are blocking yourself energetically, where you're actually resisting yourself. So with that, let's get going. We're going to do some facilitation too. So I might say some weird words. I use access consciousness tools. I use so many tools and modalities over the past 30 years. I'm also a woman that's been in recovery for 33 years. So I bring a lot of 12-step recovery stuff, Al-Anon, all that kind of stuff into the work that I do. So there will be a time that I'm going to ask you if you'd like to clear it, and we'll clear the energy of where you're blocking that. And I might say some weird words that sound kind of like right and wrong, good and bad, pod poc, all nine shorts, boys, povads, and beyonds. And don't get hung up on it. It's a clearing tool that everybody can use, but it literally just wipes everything away. So with that, I also titled this, as we get started, let's go ahead and bring our bodies real quick to the call, because we've been getting prepped and ready for this so that you're present and aligned. I always like everybody to feel their feet. Mine sit on my desk here, my moving chest. I want you to feel your butt in the chair. I want you to call you, the infinite being that you are, into this so that you can receive. And I wonder how much you and your body can receive today with total ease. Cool. All righty, there we go. I just brought my energy down a little bit. Okay, are you speaking the language of success? So that in itself, the word success is not even in the book. Well, it does say on the front of this big old thing, success. I would like you to have space to acknowledge success. Okay, let me back up here a little bit. Success, here's how words work. I say the word success, and your brain goes to what you think success should be. And it could be based on your past. Most of it's based on our past because we're always bringing stuff up from the past. And so success, all your points of view of what success is and success isn't, would you just let that melt away, destroy and uncreate? Because I have a book here that says words are the key to the creation of success. So if you have a point of view that doesn't belong to you of what success is, you might not even be able to receive what's available for you because you've decided what you think success is. So destroy and uncreate all the points of view, just let that go away, of what success should be. Because I work with all of you all over the place, and success could be like, I'm working with somebody right now, and success is in their realm of their world right now is the ability to just be, to be able to just sit and watch the grass grow. That's success for them in their lives right now. Success for some of us, or whoever, could be literally building your business and taking it up, leveling it to a place that it's never been before. So I want you to be in this awareness. Even the word success has energy on it. Okay, so with that, and that was a lot of S's for me to say with my teeth today. Language is our superpower. We don't know that until we know that. It's like what we are saying, if we're not conscious about what we're saying, is creating what it is that we're saying. And so my want for today is that there's a lot, but just that, like, the four pillars of where I coach from is that today you have some awareness about the words, about the language that you're using and being aware of that, and then being an allowance of like when you become aware of, oh, look at all those little balloons that are going up. When you're like, oh my gosh, I have been saying that word my whole life. And I've been being that energy my whole life, to be an allowance that it just was what you were using. And now you're going to choose a different word. And here's the other thing that people really get hung up on, because, we're all about doing this right, right? So for all of my girlfriends here who want to do this right, even if we talk about this, like the first word, I don't know what we're going to talk, what it is on here. I might say we're going to talk about why. Okay. And again, you may know these words, and there will be a new awareness for you. That does not mean you cannot not say the word why ever again. That's not what this is about. But we do take it to the extreme of like, I'll be talking to people and they're like, oh, no, I said why. It's like, no, now you just have an awareness of what why is creating for you versus before you didn't know. So we're just bringing the awareness, the allowance, and then you're going to learn today. If you're new with me or now, worked with me and you're like, okay, reminding yourself that wherever you are, whatever it is that you're choosing to create, the future version of you is going to come from question. And so you are the one who gets to start to learn how to learn to ask questions, empowering questions that actually create a space for something else to appear. And then we go into action. So with that, are you speaking the language? So here's the first question. Here's the first question, and maybe have you guys answer in the chat for me. What are you creating with the energy of the words you are using? So maybe even just in the chat, what are you creating right now? What are you creating? Put that, please participate so we can get some energy going of like, what is it that you're creating in your life? Okay, put that in there. And then that will also kind of set the energy, because what we're creating, wanting, desire, we might be able to put a little bit of pivot on that. Okay, so Lisa, thank you. Cute. Love it. Okay. Happiness and peace, new business with my husband. Okay. So there is no right or wrong here. There is just awareness. So let's start here. Again, this isn't even in the book, but this is how this magic happens. Truth. For those of you who are looking to create happiness and peace, I really want you to ask yourself, truth. Are you already, as we're really diving in here to the energetics of it, truth, are you already peace? Yes or no? Truth, are you already happiness? Okay, Lisa, that's it. Sandy. So again, this is the energy of words. This is what we're looking at when we're mastering our energy. So I have a saying, and for all of you who know my stuff, you're going to hear me repeat some of it, is underneath the pile of poo is the pony called you. So you might be using, the question was, what are you creating with the energy of the words you are using? So if you're asking for in your life manifestation, okay, manifestation is how something shows up. Actualization is that it actually shows up. So if you're asking for happiness and peace, you truly are already that. As an infinite being, you are that. What we're here to do, and what I'm here to do with you today, and as your coach and facilitator, energetic coach, is to move away all those points of view, all the energy, all the limitations, all the beliefs that you aren't happiness and that you aren't peace. Okay. So there we go with that. Diane is asking for what are you creating with the energy of the words you are using? Space. Bam, 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 bam. I like that one because there's no right or wrong, but I like what she said in that particular one is the words that she's learning to use, the energy, the mastery of who she is learning how to use words that create space in her world. We're looking to learn words. I have crazy hands. I apologize. We're looking to learn more about the words that expand us versus contract us. And a lot of the words that we use already have a contractive energy on them without us even knowing it. So that's what we're here to like, oh my gosh, that word I've been using actually is set in a vibration because it's set in a vibration and it's creating contraction. And then Dara will address that. What are you creating with the energy of the words you are using? And Dara is creating a new business with her husband. Dara and I have been working together for 4 years. So she's got energetic mastery down in the sense that she's asking constantly using words. Basically, it's just asking to questions that create, questions that we create. Okay, so thank you for answering that. The words that we use and who you be all have a vibration on them. That may be something that you're aware of, you're not aware of, but it's real. And it's something that I go more into in my mastery classes of like, what frequency are you being? And what are the frequency of the energy of the words? What are the frequency of the vibration of the words that you're using? Okay. And what happens is we're so often in autopilot, okay, where we're just literally using the same energy and the same words over and over again. And that energy, those words are keeping us stuck. And we're not even aware of it. And once we become aware of it, we can shift it. Know that I've always said 95% of awareness is recovery. So this work here, even today, will be transformational where you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that. I'm now aware of something which creates consciousness, which means you can never go back because now you have a new space of possibility. Okay, so let's open up this little book. Whether you have it or not doesn't matter. But if you did register, you got the book. If you didn't, you can send me a message because you're watching me on Facebook. And I'll send you the book. Just looking at my notes here. We talked about your language is a key superpower and choice is your superpower. So let's start with why. 5 words to eliminate from your vocabulary. Alrighty. So again, this may be repeat for some of you, and for some of you, it may not be. So let's go ahead right now to, would you destroy and uncreate, release, let go, all of your projections and expectations of what you expect to get from this class today. Our projections and our expectations cut us off from receiving what's even greater than what you expect. So again, words, energy. So right now, all of your expectations of what you're going to get from this class, what I'm supposed to deliver, what you're supposed to get, would you just destroy and uncreate all those projections and expectations? And then we ask a question of like, wow, I wonder what else is possible here. Okay, so that's for some of you who have taken this class before and you're like, oh, I know the why. Well, what else is possible? Okay, that's called the disease of I knowism. I suffered from I knowism for a very long time. You know, like when you've done something over and over and over and over and over again, and you're like, I know. And that's like the hugest limitation there possibly is. So, alrighty, so remove the why. Why? My husband's kind of a whyer. We're still working on that. And again, I can't work on it for him. Only he can work on it, but I can also be the one who can re-question things, because when we ask why, we're literally going into, I just kind of look at that. It's a fork in the road. It's the why. It always goes back to the problem. It always goes back to the problem. Why? Why? Here's the one thing we've been working on. I have a group. It's called the Activate the Phenomenal Wealthy Woman. It is a group. We would love to have you participate in it. You get, I won't go into all of it, but the theme, but it's available, and there's so much available in that membership. We've been focusing on this month judgment. Where do we do judgment? Where do we be judgment? And the words that we use for judgment. Why is a judgment? Why is that happening? Why are they doing that? There is not a question in that. There is only a judgment. And everything that doesn't fit that judgment in your world then is completely wrong. Dara's going right here. Dara says, I think this is my third or fourth time taking it, but I'm aware that there is more to open up and become aware. Absolutely. So maybe even that, Dara, that you didn't realize as we've been doing the judgment class in the membership group, that why is truly a judgment. Why am I doing this? Why are you doing that? Why are, so the words, so we want to become aware of when we use why. And energetic coaching, the way that I do it is when I work with clients, number one, we're not looking at the problem. We're not looking at the problem, because the problem is the why. We're going to go, okay, here's the thing, here's the question, and how do we move the energy away, the limitations, the blocks, and out create that. So very rarely will I have a session with anybody where we actually are ever saying why. Once you get used to it, you're more into, this is a basic question from Access Consciousness. I love their tools, keep passing that on, is instead of why, it's a simple question of, what else is possible here? What else is possible here? My husband and I are leaving on vacation in a couple days, and there will be a lot of, I'm sure, why questions. Why is that person doing that? Why is that happening? Like, why is that line taking so long? There's going to be a lot of that. Why is this not going further? It's just going to be rah! And everybody around you's doing the why thing. Okay. So we get to be like, it's not going in the direction that we would like it to go in. I will be a question. I will be a space. And I would say maybe to where it happens, if there's a luggage situation or there's a booking, anything, I'm going to say, instead of the problem, why is this happening? Why is this a problem? Why is, it's going to be, I wonder what else is possible here. I wonder what else we can have. I wonder what else we can create. When you do that with somebody who's helping you with something, it will change the entire energy of everything completely. Because number one, they don't know what to do with that. They're like, they stop fighting it, because the why is always about the fight, because you've now judged them because they're wrong, because the flight's been delayed. I'm just using that. Versus like, I wonder what else is possible here. There's no answer to that. There's just consciousness of like, I wonder. And the next thing you know, that has taken its course. So remove the why from your world. Of course, you can use it again, but now you'll go, oh, why did I just use the word why? To get myself stuck in a place where I actually can't even answer the question. See how we kind of tangle each other? So, hi, Kim, Facebook, knock out why, just conscious of it. Absolutely. So, we're not going to talk in depth on this, but I like affirmations. You can't even like Google it, because you have to find it. It was made, it's what's his name? John Saint something. John Saint Noah Saint John, something like that. and he created of questions. The way that I coach and facilitate is questions that do not have a conclusion on the end of them. So you could say a why question instead of going into why. Okay, hold on, let me back up again. When you're doing affirmations, if they're new to you, not affirmations, but affirmations, we actually do say, we ask why. It's very confusing. We ask the question of, why is it so easy for money to come into my world? Why is it so easy for me to find a seat in the plane? You know, I'm doing it because we're going on vacation. Why is it so easy that traffic isn't there? Why is it so easy for us to find a parking spot? Our brain's job, its subconscious job, is to find an answer to something. That's its job. So when we give it a question like why, from the place of a judgment, it's going to try and find the wrongness. It's going to do that. It's going to try and pull up this information. It's all this data going on in the computer. When you do an affirmation, which is not even in the book, it creates a why is it so easy for me to find a parking spot? The brain doesn't know, subconscious and energetics match all the quantum particulates. We don't have to go into all of that today, but the energy will search, the brain will search for, why is it so easy for me to find a parking spot? Why is it so easy for money to come into my banking account? That is not an affirmation. Affirmations do something different. They have a conclusion on them. They have a judgment on them. So I just want to remind you that why, when it's a question from judgment versus why brain, is it so easy? Why is it so? Why does everything just flow to me with you? I'm down on there. Before, a couple of you have worked with me with that, but for a lot of you, affirmations is like, what's she talking about? The other word we want to become aware of is but. You butted yourself. There's a funny saying. The only thing a but, what is the saying? I don't even know the saying anymore. But the only thing you should be using but for is to sit on. Okay. We have learned all of this stuff and how we function from a lot of our programming. It's habitual, it's autopilot. The work that I do with clients is becoming aware of what it is that we're doing, what we're saying and what we're being. What we're saying, what we're being is creating exactly what's happening in our lives to what is required to become that next version of you, and the work that has to be done gets to be done so that you get to get out of autopilot and set up your new places from where you function. So, but is something that we've learned way back when. And what it does is, and you may already know this, it eliminates everything that you said before it. Okay. And of course, this is like a thing I see with women all the time. All of us, we will say something that we did that was positive, expansive. We're proud of it. We're excited about it. A lot of times it's like we're excited about it. And then we go, but, and then we throw the big fat but in it. And it literally energetically and does wipes everything you said away. It diminishes it. So this is where it shows up in business a lot. It shows up everywhere. But where I used to see it, if you don't know my history and who I am with Mary Kay Cosmetics. So we would always have what's your weekly wins. I now call them your weekly awarenesses versus a win, because a win even has a negative on it. Because if you don't have a win, then you're a loser. Do you know what I mean? It's like we don't realize what we're saying. So until we realize it. So I call them, what are your awareness wins? not your wins, but what are your awarenesses for the week? Because every time you have a new awareness, you create a new possibility. So the but, here's where, and I wrote an example in the PDF is here. When you use the word but, it often functions as a connector word that negates or diminishes what you said before. Okay. And this is literally something I would hear in network marketing as a sales director all the time. Here's your win. You're up there and you're saying, I made $10,000 this month, but my goal was 12,000. I mean, I heard it every day, all the time. I even have said that. And what it did was just like, you're all like, it could be 10,000, it could be $100. I made $100 on that sale, but I wanted 500. Literally, energetically, all I can say is you literally destroyed what you just embraced in yourself. So everything that brings up for you right now, you're like, oh my gosh, I do that. I do that. We're just doing awareness, and then we're doing allowance of like, oh my God, I do that. So what else is possible from here if I'm aware that I'm butting myself all the time? And when you start to practice this, I'll catch myself still all the time. Right when the but goes, I say period to catch myself, because all we need to do is pivot constantly. This is what's happening. This is what I did, but, and then you'll hear me when I'm coaching. I'll say it and I'll be going. And then instead of finishing the sentence and going to the but, I'll just say period, just period, because that also reprograms the brain to get us out of autopilot to go, I'm complete. I do not have to out explain why I didn't do what I think I should have done. Okay. So you can replace, and also I wrote down here. See, and you know what? When I was reading this again the other day, I need to update this because I don't even agree with what I wrote here when I wrote this originally. I wrote down, I made $10,000 this month, and I'm working towards surpassing my goal of $12,000. Okay. For me now, when I read that sentence is so heavy, I want to throw up. Okay. I'm very much about the energy of words, heavy, light. Okay. A lot of you know this, but what's light, you're going to choose. You're going to create with more ease. Anything that's heavy, you're not, or you are, and it's going to be super frustrating. It's just not going to own literature here, which needs to be changed. I made $10,000 this month. And instead of the but, I put but I would now just say, I made $10,000 this month. And then you sit with it. It is so uncomfortable to sit with a positive for a lot of us. That's what we're also learning, is that body alignment of like, wow, could I actually just praise myself? I'm working towards, when I read that now, it is so heavy. Working towards. Okay. I might use a different, I am going to use something different. I'm going to ask a question with that. I wonder what else is possible to have $12,000 in production this month. I wonder what else is possible. Add that word, wonder. Wonder and curiosity is a word that I ask a lot of my clients to put into their world. I didn't even know that those two words were possible in my vocabulary because of who I have been, that it was just like, bam, bam, get it done, do it. We're not going to go into all of that, my story, but when I learned the word, I'm curious, I wonder. For some people, that may be a very easy word to use, but for a lot of us, I'm aware that that is a very different word because it creates a space that you do not have to be right. It's like, I wonder, I'm curious of what I need to do. I wonder what my business requires, what it needs. That's a whole nother business conversation for coaching. because your business is actually its own, it's not getting the life it needs. So business requires to bring and have $12,000 in production this month. Dara talked about Ego Island. That's just something I learned about from Sarah Garanetti from Access. It does have something to do with this, is that how hard it is for us to actually say something and then not butt it, or to say something and to actually have a space to like be it. That's one of the things the membership group we have, and there is also magic in groups. When you have a healthy group of women who are all creating from possibility in a masterclass and a mastermind, and you can have a space where you can talk about what you created and not have to butt yourself, that's magic. That's what my classes are about. That's what I love to have. And I find that a lot of women don't have a place where they can do Ego Island. And Sarah talked about Ego Island was where she would say to her friends, I'm going to Ego Island right now. I'm going to Ego Island. And she would declare a space and where she could just talk about her and all that she's done and all that she's accomplished, which is basically when you hire a coach or a facilitator, that's what I am for you, is a place where you have a place of no judgment and you can literally deliver what you are without having to butt yourself. Okay. So a little side note on that. Any questions on butt? What I would love to hear from you guys is the 5 words that we're going to go over are why, but, oh, sick and tired. It's not really a word, but it's an energy. I've got a problem and want. Out of which one you know that you use a lot. Mine was want. I want. And it was so unconscious for so long because it's just, I wanted. So give me your 5 words and let me wait for that to come up. And then maybe I'll go to that one if we get some extras. So Dara was want. Okay. Who else? Anybody else? And I'll tell you why want. Okay. Anybody else? Girls, anybody? Lisa, do you have one that you are aware that you use more? Okay, how come? So how come are you using how come as like why? How come is not a question. Wow, how come is a judgment. How come they're doing that? How come I'm doing that? That is not a question well, it's a fake question. It's a question with a conclusion. So you're going to want to learn to be aware of, like, you ask, how come? And then shift it to, I'm curious. I don't know why every time I say that word, I always go like this. I'm curious. I wonder. It's like, I guess it's a natural body thing. It's like, I'm curious. I wonder. So I would love for you to try that 2 words, Lisa. It will change your reality. Just those 2 words. I wonder. And what we're doing with energy mastery is we are not looking for an answer. We are being a moment of space. Like, I wonder. I guess that's why I do it. I wonder. I'm curious. So that the unconsciousness, the energy can move, expand out, so that all of a sudden you have an awareness and you're like, oh, okay. And then you get to keep asking questions with that. Does that help, Lisa? Oh, love that. Perfect. Okay. So nobody else is participating who can. Diane, do you have one that you like? I know I've got her manning Facebook and over here. I just want to kind of see out of the 5 words, why, but, sick and tired, I've got a problem, and want. the but, if you have children or grandkids or something, that can be something you can teach them from a young age, or teenagers, like just the awareness. If you were, God, I wish someone would have told me all the things I now know, obviously, right? As a woman with wisdom, but right where they go to, like, if they're telling you something, and I mean, I don't know if you can do this with an adult that they could receive it, but when they're younger and they do that and they say what's happening, what they're excited about, what they've done, if they put a but in there, what would it be like for you to be that influence, that energetic consciousness part to say, hey, let's try that without the but. Let's put a period at the end of that. Okay, so just passing that on. Oh, okay. And Diane's a butt girl. Okay. So there we go. Okay. So thank you for that. So let's go to want, because we have 90 minutes here. And my goal is obviously to get through these, but as we flitter off on other things, I want everything. That's just who I am. The name of my business is Growth Junkie Coaching. I love growth. As a woman in recovery, the word junkie kind of lights people up. Again, that word, the energy of words. I actually had somebody ask me, knowing that I was in lots of things, is like, isn't that energy of words, of what people perceive words as? And to me, junkie just meant more, but I understand because she was, and I was working with her, like, oh, I wasn't going to change it because growth, junkie, I love growth. So that's that part of, like, I want, but here's what the energy of the word want creates. So let me read it so I get it out straight, so you can kind of just let it settle in for a moment. Let's see. Instead of stating I want, refrain from using this phrase as it implies a sense of lacking. Here's what you get to be conscious of, aware today, is the word want actually creates lack. That's what it pulls into its world. Okay. When you become conscious of it, which is what we're doing right now, if you say the word want, that's okay. But up until the place of where you are in struggle and survival and money, and you keep saying, I want, you are literally pulling into your life lack. Energy will match, it does. That's just how it works. Like, the law of manifestation, the art of manifestation. It's the way energy works. What you say will match that and create that. Okay. I don't, in this class, we're not going into how all of the mechanics of that works. We don't need to know that. We just need to know the simplicity of each time you utter, I want, you are essentially affirming your state of lack and inviting more of it into your life. I don't know. I just have to laugh because I remember that's what I would say all the time. I want. So I'm going to have awareness with right now, and then I'm going to have allowance. Because I want to go back to, like, God, all those times that I was saying want, I could have been saying something, but I didn't know what I didn't know until you know what you know now. So everywhere that you have not been willing to be aware, that if you were willing to be aware of what you aren't willing to be aware of, that if you were willing to be aware of it, would change your entire reality. Everything that doesn't allow that, which hopefully just fracked your brain and you're like, what did she say? Would you go ahead and destroy and uncreate everything that doesn't allow you to be aware of what it is that you're aware of? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, online, shorts, boys, poveds, and beyond. We can change anything once we're willing to be aware of it. That's not in here, but that's the basis of the work that we all need to do if we want to change something, is having to be willing to be aware of what it is that we're not willing to be aware of. And once we're willing to be aware of it, we can change anything. But I also understand that being willing to be aware of what you're aware of means you have to get out of your comfort zone. Okay. So I'm going somewhere different, but allowance with the awareness of how many places you have uttered, I want. Okay. Instead, ask empowering questions. Okay. And this is a learned thing. And as a facilitator, this is what I do with clients when they'll bring something up, and I will bring in a empowering question, will move the energy, and will create a new space from which you can start to function from. But for yourself, let me see what I think my book needs to be updated for me. I think the last time I taught from this was the end of last year. And for some reason, I am not aligning with the words right now. So it says, ask an empowering question. And I think the reason I wrote it that way is so that basically you could get it if you read this. And when you're doing the work with me, I'm going deeper with it. I think that's why when I put it together, it's like it was a shift, but I'm taking you to a whole different place with it. Is seeking a limiting word? Lisa's asking that. Is seeking. Is that because I asked that? Did I ask that before and I said I didn't like it? No. Is seeking? Let me ask you. Is that word heavy or light for you? I'm going to use a basic energetic tool. Is that word? It's light. Okay, cool. Cool. So for you, seeking could be wonder and curiosity. I'm seeking. Are you seeking with no point of view, though? Or are you seeking because you're trying to figure out where you're right and they're wrong? Okay, Lisa's like, yes. Lisa's new to my work. So glad to have you here. But man, she is getting it so fast. That's why if I'm for you, we get it. And if I'm not for you, you've already hung up from the call. So that's great. So great question. So seeking, now that it got light, but we have something I call fraud patrol, meaning a lot of us like to when I can't go into it, it's too much, but fraud patrol is where you are trying to prove that somebody else is wrong because you know that you're right. And the work that I do with women, you are one of the above. You are a seeker. You are a growth junkie. You are a sensitive. You are intuitive. You are empathic. You're in recovery. You're that kind of woman who does work with me. So you know what it is that I'm saying when I say you're seeking to figure out that you're right because you're doing fraud patrol because you're so darn intuitive that you actually do know that they're wrong and they're lying. Okay. So I wonder if you don't have to figure out that they're wrong, you're right, and all that. And that's a tool I teach. It's neutral, interesting point of view. It goes along with mastering your energy in the themes of consciousness, of being an energy of neutral, wow, what if I didn't have to prove anything? Okay. So anyway, I'm going off into it's good questions, but you can see how it all your words create everything that you're doing and being. And then you wake up and you're like, whoa, what the heck? Where am I living? What's just the words you're using until you go, yeah, thanks, so much sense. Okay, cool. So let's go back to I want. What steps can this was my, what other things you could ask as an empowering question. Instead of I want, what steps can I take to secure a job, new job, or a fulfilling relationship? Oh my God, I hate the whole sentence. Okay, so I'm laughing at my own work here. This is created for people who it is a shift. That is a shift. But if you were working with me, I would take you on what we're going to do is such a different, even lighter place than that. So instead of I want more money, I want more clients, I want more clothes, I want want more relationships. Okay. I'm going to throw out the basic question, and you're all going to go, it can't be that easy. What else is possible here? Period. If you're new to energetic mastery, you're new to conscious, you know what I mean? Asking an empowering question of what else is possible here that I haven't ever considered will change your reality. It just does. But you could say, you'll say, I think Dara said it. She goes like, desire. What do you desire? Okay. Honestly, most of us have no idea what we desire at all. I snorted on that one. We know what we don't want, and we know what we want. Isn't that? I just really got that. I do know that most of us have no idea what we desire. So a lot of clients will come to me and they're seeking clarity, they're seeking happiness, they're seeking freedom. You know, like we just all said, no wrongs with that. But what is it that you actually would like to have in your life? So what else is possible here? And so everything that I've just said, let me clear the energy. It just got kind of, I went all over the place there. So we're an allowance of what we've been doing. And now what other new things can we say to create more expansion? I want, if you listen, watch your body do it. I want. What happens to your body when you say I want? Say it and let me know. What does your body do? Did I just, okay, Lisa, good job. Okay. Lisa went, whoom. Okay. Whoom. Our bodies are our vehicles for creation. So I want means let me suck it all up. Let me get it. Let me contract it. Let me hold it. Not let me let go. I want. Survival struggle. I mean, I just know this. Okay. So just the question of what else is possible here? Like if you just literally flew your hands out. Now, if it's a particular thing, at the end of this, I will stay on if anybody wants to, and I will answer some questions. So even if you have like a particular, or if you don't stay on, that's where I'm inviting you guys to, I'll send a link. If you aren't working with me, that you can do one of my clarity calls and I can answer some of that for you, okay? And take you into your next steps. So what choices can I... Okay, I hate this book. I am cracking up. Okay. What choices can I make to bring about a significant transformation? Would you please eliminate the word significant, like immediately? But I do know when I create this was a lead magnet thing that goes out for people. So you're going to get it on the basic level, you know, but for the work that we're doing, that you're actually doing we're doing facilitation right now, nothing significant. So would you please destroy and uncreate everything that you've made significant about what it is that you want? Ooh, that's good. Everything that you want, that you've made significant, that if you don't get it, you can't have it, that you've made it significant. Even if you don't understand what I'm saying, would you please just destroy and uncreate that? Let it melt away. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. Okay, so I would just say, like, instead of want, now, what choices? What choices do I have here? What choices can I choose? What else is possible here? I know that's so basic as I'm saying it, but that right there is enough to tweak everything. And of course, if it's more money that you need or your business and so forth, that's where coaching and facilitation comes in. What do we need to create so that it can actualize? Okay, I said when we started this, 5 words that are, you know, what is it? Cutting off your ability to manifest. We want to use words that create expansion so that manifestation is how things show up. I want more, you know, I desire, how can I have more money? All that kind of, you know, let me say that. I said manifestation is it comes into our world. Actualization is when, oh my gosh, there it is. How is it so easy for $5,000 to show up in my bank account? Okay. Dara's going to share desire. There says, when I desire, that is a space to me and opens my body and mind to so many more possibilities. Bam, you got it. Desires. Okay, that's where I kind of whimmed off there again. Sorry about that. That a lot of us don't even know what it is that we desire. But desire is an expansive word. Desire. Everywhere that you have a point of view that you can't desire something, even the word desire has a point of view on it right now. I just read it. I just got it. Everywhere that you were brought up that you cannot desire something. And that is not your point of view. That is somebody else's, but you might have heard that, like desire, destroy and uncreate that. Okay, just let it melt away. Your points of view create your reality. So you might have a point of view on that word, or your mother did, or your grandmother did, or somebody else did, that desire is something you can't have. Well, everything that doesn't allow you to have and receive what you desire, would you destroy and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pod poc, all nine shorts, boys, poets, and beyond. Did you kind of get that a little bit too more, Dara? I have my phone up here in front. Just how desire could also be something that people can't even receive because they can't desire. There's a whole nother layer of energetic mastery when we are asking for what it is that we desire. And then there's another whole level that you have to learn to actually have it and receive it. Okay, so there we go. So there was a lot on that. By adopting,
the layers on desire and receiving, which for the last 4 years, I couldn't receive anything. So to say the word desire and then realize I'll never if I don't open myself to receiving, I can desire all I desire, but I won't be able to receive. And so it's been these last few years of just fracking all of that and doing the layer upon layer upon layer, and then the pony, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that whole thing is that
the pony called you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Uncovering her so that desire is expansion, and then receiving is possible.
Exactly. Beautifully put. Absolutely. I kind of got the same too underneath the pile of poo. And the poo is everybody else's points of views, all of your belief systems. But in the recovery world, we call it uncover, discover, discard. So that's kind of my thing, is what we do with energy work is we uncover it, we discover it, we discard it, we ask a question to create the expansion, and then we learn how to receive it. So that's kind of all that we're doing. And none of that is from a place of a problem. Okay, very good. Thank you, Dara. So the last paragraph, that from adopting this approach of I want, you shift your focus from a mindset of scarcity to one of possibility and proactive decision making. And again, I would not use the word decision making. If I worked with you one-on-one, I would use the word choice, because choice is your superpower. Okay. But when you're new to this work, you would use the word decision, but decision means to cut off all other possibilities, which is not something that's going to create something for you. Okay. I'm not going to go off on too much of a tangent on that, but I think I just did a live in the tools to master your energy. I did 2 lives. Oh, I did a live yesterday on did you we yourself? Who was I talking to? We, W-E, like when you talk about we as you are part of something. The word we is really a word that can destroy us energetically. When you're talking about somebody else and you've become a we with them, this is where codependency and stuff comes in together energetically. We are trying to figure this out. We need to help her. We need to do this. And I had a client the other day, and I'm like, you are weeing all over yourself. So, and she knew immediately what she was doing because she's worked with me. And I'm like, how invested are you in this person's world? And she says, well, apparently she had become one with them. Yes, did she know that there was something else possible for them? Yes. But had they asked for it? No. So, I mean, we are healers. We are brilliant. We do know what's possible for other people. That's one of our gifts and talents. It's like that is my gift, is to be able to see that for people. But if someone doesn't ask for it and you've weed on them, nobody gets to grow. So that's not in this book, but it is. That's a word that is either creating or it's destroying. Dara put down there, my husband and I are creating a business because they are jointly in co-creation and agreement to create that. But when we are weeing, like I wish they would do that. That becomes a judgment, and then that becomes a we situation. So anyway, I did a live on that, I think yesterday or the day before, in my Tools to Master Your Energy group. Okay, where are we? We are at, and this is fun because this is new for me to do a 90-minute free masterclass. Usually they're like an hour, and then I feel like I'm all cut off and I didn't get stuff out that I wanted to. So it's cool that I have some extra time. Let me tell you, this is, again, I don't plan anything. I kind of just go off the spur. If you are looking to have truly, if you're asking, here's the language of ask and receive. If you are in your life right now saying you want change, you need something different, something's not working, like you're saying all of it, right? Where do I want to go with this? Be aware of what you're saying, because if you're saying something, but you're not actually willing to do it, but you're not willing to acknowledge that you're not willing to do it, that's where the energetic conflict comes from. So again, off on another thing, but I wanted to talk about why there was a why. I can say why and that thing. Why having a coach or a facilitator. I'm a facilitator coach because I am a facilitator. That is some of my certifications is I facilitate change in people's lives. It's not like a full strategy, but I facilitate. So if you're looking for something different to change, but you're not willing to do the work, there's so much power that comes from acknowledging that you're not willing to do what's required. That right there creates change. Does that make sense? Diane, did that make sense? I mean, I'm off on a little tangent, but that's the power of language. Here's a good setup. I want my business to make more money. I should get a coach. Okay, that is not going to move you anywhere. There was a want, which was lack. Okay, not that it's not all like, it's not like that's what you want to have happen, but everything that you just said in that, and if that was a sentence, is literally destroying what it is that you're trying to create. So we eliminate why, and we go, I wonder what else is possible. I guess the reason I was going to say that is, why was I going to say that? Is coaching and facilitation, in my point of view, is required if you want change and you don't know how to get there. I have a coach. A lot of the girls that work with me, that's where this whole master class idea came from for do 90 minutes. I currently have a coach that I paid $16,000 for the year. Okay. I know the value of what she's going to create in my world. Okay. So if you're looking for change, if you're new and you're liking the stuff I have to say, that's where we'll do a clarity call. But having someone in your life that's a judgmental free space that can, not willing to acknowledge with ease. Yeah, just learn how to acknowledge and to say things and be different can create so much change. So that was my like pathetic invitation to think about working with me. Okay, so here's another one. I'm sick and tired. I do not hear that in my world anymore. I that is so cool. I just thought about that. Okay, if you hear people in your world when you go, how are you? I'm so tired. I'm so tired. If you have people in your world like that, yay. But also be aware of the energy of what they're being. Okay, so a lot of this comes from too, like I said, years as a director in Mary Kay. We'd get to our meeting at night, to do our woohoo, launch it. And and I've been prepping all day. I've worked all day. This is not a word that you very rarely would ever hear me say. I'm tired. I did say it to Diane last night because I was in a different space. But and you get to this meeting, you're, whatever, and all of a sudden someone asks you how you are. And the first freaking thing that comes out of these girls' mouths sometimes is, I'm tired. And I'm like, right on. Okay. So if you might be tired, but if you invite, I am tired, I'm sick and tired, I'm tired, I'm sick and tired, guess what you're creating? You're creating more tired. It's just the way it works. Okay. So Lisa's like, yeah. Okay. I got them on a little top thing. So there's an allowance. Okay. Right now we're having awareness. It's like, oh my God, I say that. Or, oh my gosh, that person says that all the time. And then we're going to have an allowance, not acceptance. Again, acceptance and allowance. I mean, I can only give you so much information. Your head is probably ready to blow up right now. But allowance of like, okay, I do say that. Okay, cool. I'm not saying denying by any means what your body is experiencing. If your body and you are tired, you are tired. But if you say it out of habitual, that's what you go to. It's time to take a look at why you're saying that. Okay. And I'm asking the why. It's like, if you're saying I'm sick and tired, what is it? What about being tired if I was coaching them? Okay. Say there's no medical problems with you. Okay. But you're like, that is something you always say, I'm so sick and tired, or I'm so tired. We say what we say to create what it is that we want it to create, even if it's not creating what we want it to create, but we're used to that creation. That's called the cycle, baby. That's called flipping back, and it's called trifold sequencing. It's what we do it's what's happening in our energetic field until you become aware and you're like, oh my gosh, I keep saying that. So what have you found so vital and valuable about always being sick and tired? There's no answer to that. There's just an awareness. Now, if you were working with me one-on-one, we would go into you and all the piles of stuff on there, limitations, beliefs, point of views of why you're choosing to be that energy. Okay, so let's go to what's on the book. And this might be the last one. Well, okay, we'll see here. Instead of saying, oh, here it is. You are creating yourself as sick and tired. We know that. Here's the key. Here's what I want you. I'm also a body worker. Okay. I do body work. Our cells will obey what our minds think and what our mouths utter. Okay. You probably already know that. But if you don't, hello, there's some great awareness. We know that. Here's the thing. And also, it doesn't say this on that, but the words that we say, the energy of them actually changes the shape of our cells. Okay, this is proven, documented science. So when you're feeding negative into it, it changes the shape of the cells. And when the cell shape is changed, that creates disease. Okay, we're not going to go into all that right now, but that's why mastering self-mastery, the energy to be aware of it literally changes the dynamics of everything that's going on in your body. Okay. So let's see. Oh, it says our cells will obey what our minds think and what our mouths utter. How can you be anything but sick and tired if you keep telling yourself that you are? Okay. That's pretty common sense, but you don't know that until you know that. Okay. Say, I'm sick and tired of is a way to express frustration, not a self-fulfilling prophecy. Saying I am sick and tired of blah, blah, blah is a way to express frustration. So what I would just simply also, besides what have you found vital and valuable about being sick and tired? And I'm sure if that's not you, because you're past that in your energetic mastery, the art of that, you know people who do that. And then if you're just aware of what's going on in their lives, they, them. I'm going to admit somebody in here and let's see what happens here. That, where was I going to say? Talking pot, all of that. I want to just make sure as we have a late person coming in, what that pops up at, just to protect the thing, but I don't see them. Okay, cool. So lack of oh, I would take it to the place of by saying I'm sick and tired, you're creating an energetic distractor in your world. That's what you're doing. You're throwing that up. You're hiding behind, well, you're not even, you're just unconsciously putting that up there so that you do not have to choose something different. It's really just that simple. Okay. Alrighty. Reframing that statement as a question. What am I sick and tired of? That's a question. But I said it, what is so vital and valuable about being sick and tired? That's a whole different question. Brings up a whole different versus, what am I sick and tired of? Can be a helpful exercise in self-reflection, identifying specific factors of our dissatisfaction. And you could also say to yourself, if I wasn't sick and tired, I wonder, I wonder how magical, but we do use it as a boundary. We do use it to cut us off from possibilities. Now you might be tired. Oh, let me see. This awareness empowers you to take action, to make choices that align with our desires and values, ultimately leading you to more fulfilling and positive experience. That's just the last of the sentence. Okay, we have 15 more minutes. So let me go over one more here that's on my list. Okay, yeah, we're doing good. And like I said, as we get ready to wrap this up, I will be sending you, if you are new, you will be getting the recording. All the recording people will be getting the recording. And then I really invite you to come and do a clarity call with me. And we really will actually look at 4 energies of where you are most resistant to, talk about maybe working together or what a next step is for you. And I will stay on at the end of this call for any questions that anybody has. Okay, what's my last one? I've got a problem. Instead of saying I've got a problem, let me read this because this probably needs to be updated too. So instead of saying I've got a problem, consider asking yourself a question. Okay. The belief that there is a problem restricts your perspective to only what you have defined as a problem. Okay. However, in reality, events are neutral, and it is our interpretation that labels them as problems. Bingo. By embracing the power of questions, you open up a new possibility, new possibilities. They're all out here. One simple yet transformative question to ask yourself is, what else is possible that I haven't considered yet? And I don't, for me, that art of energetic mastery, that is one question I will never stop asking. What here? What else? Sometimes it's like, what here? What else is possible here that I've never considered yet? Because your brain is going to look for the answers, and you just asked a question that it doesn't have an answer for. So it removes the unconsciousness and allows new possibilities and things to come into our world. Things will appear, and that's manifestation right there. It's like all of a sudden you are asking, what else is possible here that I have never considered? But you're not seeking for an answer. You're waiting to be patient. And it could come in a minute. It could come in a day. It could come in a year. It could come in 10 years. It's, you know what I mean? It's like you may be asking for something that's not showing up right away, but we've opened up the possibility for that to happen, which before you had not. Initially, you may not receive, like I just said, initially, you may not receive an immediate answer, but you will become aware of different aspects that can help you shift the energy from what you initially declared as a problem. Okay. So, let's see here. What I want to also say as we wrap up, we went through I want, let's review. Why, but, I'm sick and tired, I got a problem, and I want. Okay. So let me do a clearing on that really quick. Let's do that. Let's do that. This may absolutely not make any sense to you at all, but let it clear because this is free facilitation right here. Okay. Need. There was something else. Oh, I didn't do need. Now there's so many other words. Need. I need. That's different than I want. I need. Need. If you think you're needy, you will always go to greedy. You try to hold on to everything you've got and you become a hoarder eventually. Every single thing, every single need you have is a lie that you have created to justify a point of view you have. That was a lot. And we can talk more about that in your private session with me or in a clarity call. Because if you say you need, you become a needy energy. And then you become greedy energetically because you need it and you start to hold on to everything. It's just a magnificent what we do. I love words, language. It's just like, I love it. So, going to clear something for you. Just go with the flow. And if you'd like me to clear it, just say yes, please. What lies are you using to create the needs you are choosing? What lies are you using to create the wants you are choosing? Everything that is times a godzillion, would you destroy and uncreate all the energy, all the structure that's holding your needs and wants in place? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all 9 shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. I'm just going to leave it there because we created these lies around everything. Underneath the pile of poo, which is all these lies and inventions and secret things, is you who thinks she needs and wants. So you keep saying it. So what lies are you using to create the needs and the wants that you are choosing? Everything that doesn't allow that, again, would you destroy and uncreate, let it melt away, right, wrong, good, bad, hot, poc, all 9 shorts, boys, poveds, and beyond. I love what do I require? Yes. And in my money classes, I teach Dara. I love you, Dara. Dara's taking every class, and Dara's life she is living the life we talked about the other day, just like it's all good from what else is possible here you never considered. And when you're actually living the life that you never considered, that's even greater and greater and greater and greater, that's what Dara's created in her life. But we use the word require as like what do I require here? What do I require? What does my body require? So love that one. Alrighty, so want, but, and never. And never does not exist. Okay, so let me do another clearing. Never. These are other words that are in my notes here. Never does not exist. Let me add that. Never is a conclusion and a judgment. Okay, so here it is. How many times have you said, I'm never going to do that? If you've been a mother or you have pets or something, I am sure you've said, I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to do that. Well, hell be damned. What you just did is you set in a conclusion and then you just judged the crap out of yourself. And then eventually you end up doing it anyway, right? It's such a setup, but that is never doesn't exist. It just doesn't exist. It's literally something that you've locked into place so that you can judge yourself. So let's clear that. Okay. All the definitions you have of why, try, need, want, but never will use for communication. Everything that doesn't allow that, all the structure holding all of that in place, would you just destroy and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good and bad, POD, POC, all nine shorts, boys, pubheads, and beyond. All the definitions, all the structures that you have, all the significance you have unconsciously in your world that you have of why, try, need, want, but never. Would you be willing to now eliminate those as a necessity for communication? And everything that doesn't allow that, destroy and uncreate it, times a gazillion, or right and wrong, good and bad, POD, POC, all nine shorts, boys, pubheads, and beyond. So when you work privately with me or in groups, these are the kind of clearings that we do. We bring up this energy that's like all the definitions you have unconsciously, that you have to use these words to communicate. We've now eliminated that as a requirement. It's now a new space of words as a necessity to communicate with people. Okay. And we are wrapping up. We got a few minutes here. And let me see what other clearings I can pop in here. Words create. We know that. The magic of writing is words all have an energy that creates. So I think I've gotten that across. The words have an energy. Words have an energy. I can't go there because we don't have enough time. So the initial question I asked you at the beginning was, what are you creating with the energy of words you are using? What are you creating with the energy of the words you are creating? So hopefully now that we've spent this time, you have a deeper awareness of the power of your language and what you're saying. And then we take it to a whole nother level. What you're being with that is what's actually creating or not creating. Negativity. Lisa's asking me questions. Did I say, tell me more? Negativity? Are you aware of something right now? Or was that a word? Lisa, pop on really fast. Or did I answer it? Oh, negativity creates in your life? Stay on, Lisa.
I was just saying that all those things you were talking about, I am creating negativity with the want, but need, all that. So clearing all that's working. Thank you.
Okay. So everywhere that you decided that you're creating negativity, because, of course you're wrong. Would you destroy and create?
Yes.
You do just you're doing beautiful, but you're like, you had an awareness. Now it's not you created negativity. You chose what you chose until you knew something different. So now you're like an allowance of like, wow, that's what I've been choosing. Didn't know that, but now I can choose something differently. And I'll be damned, you do not have to do it perfect. This is not none of this is to be perfect. This is all about choice. So let's finish the last couple clearings, and there we go. Words have vibrations. Okay. I invite you to do more work with me privately as we can study more about the themes of consciousness, the 3D, the 4D, the 5D, and what you're being in those dimensions. Every word is translatable. Words create certain energies, and energy is our first language. It is. Okay. What energy, space, consciousness, and choice can you be to be transliterate in all languages again. Wow, that was a clearing that probably should not have come out for this class. Everything, hold on, right, wrong, good, bad, POC, POC, all nine shorts, boys, POVEDs, and beyond. It can, but this was a very interesting. So what energy, space, and consciousness can you be? What energy, space, consciousness, and choice can you be to be transliterate in all languages for all eternity? And everything that doesn't allow that, would you destroy and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good and bad, POD POC, all nine shorts, boys, POVEDs, and beyond. And what I mean by that is because energy is our number one language. So what if you were just transliterate and you just were you used your awareness, the energy that you already have that you didn't know that you have, but you didn't know how to use it towards you for you, that you're like, you just are transliterate in the energy of words. And you're like that. Okay. And yeah, energy is the ultimate source of our language. So everything that doesn't allow you, everything that doesn't, as we wrap this up, everything that doesn't allow you to know how aware you are, that if you were willing to be aware of what you were aware of, you would have so much more ease in your life. Destroy and uncreate everything that doesn't allow that. POC pod. All righty. Well, we made it to 10:29 and I had fun. This class is unlike any class I've done because it's always who show up and where I'm at and so forth. And the class is, yeah, I invited you to everything. Pop on really quick right now if you have any feedback. The couple of you that have been able to stay live, do you have any awareness wins that you had from the call? And then if you want me to ask any questions or otherwise, you are dismissed. But I would love to hear any feedback from anybody. I'm gonna take a sip of water.
I had an awareness about, Dara was talking about desire. And when I started thinking about what does that mean to me? And then I moved to the word contentment and is what I desire, want, all of it all put together. I want to be content with what I have so that I'm free to receive more. It's kind of where I ended up. It's like that where I'm going is that choosing the words that give me that space, that give me that freedom to be open for more, because a lot of the words I used, I can see that however they close me down.
Gotcha. How about for fun? I wonder if you just use the word ease.
Mm-hmm.
Contentment is that the word you use? Is contentment heavy or light for you?
No, I buck up against it. It's heavy. It's not light.
And I can see why, because a point of view is, what the hell is contentment? And do we actually ever get I mean, it's like one of those words that we want to say, but we don't really even know what it is. You know what I mean? It's like, I want contentment. What the hell is that? So that's why we just like those simple words, ease.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's energy mastery is so simple because it's infinite. It's all, it's so simple. What we're doing is taking away all the heavy stuff that makes everything so hard. We're just looking for, the basics of ease and joy. And what if your life, what if you're here to have joy? That's it. That's what we're here for, is to have joy. So there you go, Diane. Thank you for that. And then we even took it to another space. So, and then Lisa says, thank you so much. It creates in my life many awarenesses and really good. Love it. Okay. Dara, you got to have something before I hang up here.
Oh, a lot. I mean, so good.
All right.
So good to retake the class again. And I think what's interesting for me today is that seeking lit me up.
Which one?
Seeking.
Seeking, yes.
Yeah, so actually in a light way, in a possibility way, which goes along kind of like with desire. But I remember from this class, the first two words that began to change so significantly for me were want and need, which is desire and require, and then but. And so those three words I've literally been working on for probably 3.5 years. I think you taught this class with all 10 words like 6 months in, when I had started working with you. So
Yeah,
so it's fascinating, and it's so I can do Ego Island here for just a second, is like how blessed and how aware and what I've been able to create by removing these words, eliminating these words, and being 100% aware of choosing what I'm truly going toward as my future self. And so just today was, and it's weird because you've offered things I've done before, and I've just been like, oh, I don't need that again. Like that was my perception. When you had this as like, like a fun add-on for the class that we did, I was just like, not gonna miss this.
cool.
I was just, it's very, but I attribute that to all the work that we've done and being aware that this was required for me today.
Okay. Cool. And
for
you followed
whatever
your own
reason,
notes.
more to be revealed.
Mm-hmm.
What else is possible? But that seeking, it took me to a really beautiful place, and I won't go into it here. We can talk about it in one of my one-on-ones, but
Wonderful.
seeking took me to another level. And so I can't remember who brought that up, but thank you.
Yeah, somebody did. Thinking Lisa did. Lisa
I think
asked.
Lisa. Okay, thank you, Lisa. I don't know you, but I'm so excited to have you.
Yeah.
And
She's
get to know you.
She's in the Phenomenal Woman too, but she goes on Telegram.
Oh, she's on Telegram. Okay, awesome.
Yeah,
Okay, good to put that together. So yeah, thank you guys. And Diane, as always, you speak so much truth, and I love your openness because I've watched you blossom just in the last year. So cool.
Love it. And that's it.
Lynnae, please remind people why we yawn. I just yawned for 90 minutes.
Oh, did you? And you were covered with my phone, so I didn't see it. Often, when we are releasing unconsciousness, a lot of us yawn. There's no right or wrong with that. When I graduated from the Berkeley Psychic Institute, it was like all of us just were like yawn, yawn. But I didn't see Dara, so if she was yawning, it wasn't that she was asleep or sick and tired and sleepy. It literally was an unconscious release. And so sometimes that happens for some people. So there you go. And last one, here we go. I would love to know what seeking is opening for you. Okay, so hold on, we'll answer that. Because I was going to say Lisa's question, because I know her and we're working, I intuitively, because that's what I do, I knew that seeking meant for her to try to get something from a judgment point, right and wrong, because you're still learning you. Dara's seeking, with, I can't answer it for her, but she can come on, is from a space of awareness and possibilities.
Yes, and I live in a Christian worldview. And so ask, seek, knock has just taken a whole new level for me. Lynnae has talked with me about how I can work in energetics with my Christian world point of view. I'm not sure. I keep asking what some people call the universe. I call Yahweh God. And so I just keep asking, like, why do I understand? Why do I get energetics? But I believe that he created energetics. It was created, and everything I've experienced is from, yeah. And so the ask, seek, knock that Jesus talks about to his disciples, and the repetitive nature nature that they continue to say that after he's gone. I literally was like looking up verses while we were, so I have like all these notes of like all these other scriptures.
Love it. Love it.
Because I truly, like, my desire is just to be salt and light always. And so the more I can uncover, right? The more I can uncover, then the brighter I am, the more brilliant I am, which is one of my words. And if I can be in that wonder, which is also, that the seeking, that I just appreciate that so much this morning.
Yeah.
Which is funny because all the words we've said this morning, and I literally, it's just like, it's resonating through my cells right now.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's what it's about. And she's saying that she feels very connected to you. And that's beautiful. And that is the way that energy works. That those who are, we know, we all know, we just trust that we're all connecting when we need to connect. Who needs to connect? We're inviting each other into each other's lives to create. There's so much to that. And everything I speak is universal law. I just may present it in a wording that's different than another teacher. Nothing's new. I'm always here to say nothing's new. It's just you're different ages, different times. You hear it different words, but nothing's new. It's all universal law. So, but the way I teach, the way I coach is very pragmatic. It's just like can teach this stuff to anybody, regardless religion, base, career, all that, because it's so basic. Heavy light, who does it belong to? But yet it's as deep as it possibly can get. So, all righty. Woo, that was a lot. I loved it. And set up your appointments and so forth. And I actually leave for vacation. So I'm open for the next couple of days to do some calls. Otherwise, I will get back with whoever needs to do a next step with me, a clarity call. And the rest of you, I all have sessions with when I return from my trip. All righty. Mwah! Love you all. Bye. Bye on Facebook.